Being fat is something that I personally have experience with. When I was 13, I weighed 140 pounds. I was very overweight for my height. As I gained weight, I felt disgusting and depressed. People picked on me for it and I didn't like that, so I decided to make a change. I completely changed my diet and started riding my bike a lot. In a few months, I lost most of that weight. Years later today, I have kept that weight off and weigh now 100 pounds at 5'2". Making that change wasn't difficult for me personally. I literally decided one night that I was determined to get fit and I did it. Other people are quite different though. They don't have that determination I had. One thing that was driving me to lose the weight was the fear that I would get so big and disgusting like these women. How could somebody gain that determination to better themselves when there are people encouraging obesity? The Healthy at Every Size movement, or also known as the Fat Acceptance movement, is very troubling. Ignoring doctors has become a very disturbing trend among the general population. Instead, people are getting health advice from unqualified individuals like this woman.
Hi, my name's Kath Reid. I'm a fat activist in Brisbane. I blog at Fat Heifer Lump, where I've been blogging for about 5 years. And it's my goal to change the way
The Fat Acceptance movement is a cult. These activists are extremely delusional and deceive their followers with anti-medicine. Their philosophy and politics are dictated by feelings and not logic and facts. Fat acceptance activists like to blame everything but themselves for their obesity. Most claim that they are fat because of genetics, but research has found that to be untrue. The reason why families tend to be fat together is because they all have similar unhealthy eating habits. The second most popular excuse is a health condition. Although health conditions can lead to some weight gain, usually around 25 pounds, no health condition can make you generate calories out of thin air, making you into an obese piglet. Fat doesn't just magically appear. It has to be introduced into the body by eating in excess of the energy requirements of your body. Even if your condition stops you from exercising normally, you can still find ways to move around. Just look at this guy. He has no arms and legs, but he finds a way to move around and he's not fat.
I have no arms and no legs, but I'm very thankful that I have my little chicken drum.
Fat acceptance activists love to say that 95% of diets fail. No, fatty, diets do not fail. You fail at maintaining them. I really despise this fake statistic because it discourages people from dieting. These fat activists just want their gluttony to be validated. Although the activists deny this, it's a well-known fact that being overweight can lead to many forms of cancer. Studies have shown that many types of cancers are more common in people who are obese, including breast cancer, bowel cancer, womb cancer, gastricardia, pancreatic, kidney, and liver. Healthy at every size is physically impossible. Just look at an anorexic person. They are clearly not healthy at their size and need treatment. Similarly, with an overweight person, if an overweight person were to live a healthy lifestyle, they would not be overweight for very long. Until they drop a significant amount of weight, they would not be free from the cancer risks associated with obesity. Surgery risks are also higher for the obese. For surgeons, getting through the layers of fat while operating takes a lot more time. The fat obstructs their vision while operating and causes surgeons to have to use longer instruments and retractors. This increases the chance of surgical error. After surgery, obese patients have an increased risk of infection at the incision site. There are also other difficulties surgeons have while operating on obese patients. I have a link to my source in my blog post in the description below. Fat activists complain that doctors don't treat them with respect. Can you blame the doctors though? To become a doctor, you must complete a 4-year undergraduate degree program, spend another 4 years in medical school, and then complete 3 to 7 years of residency training. They spend so much time studying to become a doctor just to deal with overweight patients who don't take their advice, and then try to spread anti-medicine with their fat acceptance cult. The fat acceptance activists are right about one thing though. Fat people are discriminated against. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I don't believe there should be a protected class of people. We should all be open to criticism. Being obese is not a desirable trait, and no amount of social engineering will fix that. I find it interesting how the fat acceptance movement is dominated by feminist women. Fat men don't have much of a say in this movement. I think these fat women exclude fat men because either they hypocritically would never date a man as fat as them, or they blame the imaginary patriarchy for fat shaming them into eating 50 cupcakes at once. Being fat shouldn't be encouraged. Fat activists like to say that them being fat doesn't harm anybody, but it actually does. Obesity accounts for 21% of US healthcare costs. Illnesses linked to obesity are extremely expensive to treat, therefore causing US health insurance to rise, and puts a strain on countries with free healthcare. Obesity is hurting the US economy too. Fat employees are less productive. 1 billion extra gallons of gasoline are consumed each year by transporting fat Americans. There is indeed an obesity epidemic, and it's in everyone's best interest to get everyone's weight under control. You cannot cure an obesity epidemic with acceptance. But to be honest, I'm not sure how to encourage the 30% of obese adults in North America alone to lose weight. I think we should at least have a fat tax like Japan does. Also, we should make it so obese citizens cannot apply for government assistance. Maybe we should give fat people money for losing weight and keeping it off. Childhood obesity should be considered neglect. The fat acceptance movement is complete bullshit. I wish that it would die off along with the other manifestations of modern insanity. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay sane.